Welcome back to the show, everybody. Very special Fight and Focus here. I'm Josh Shernoff, and I want to remind you again, AEW Plus for only $4.99 on FITE.tv all over the world. We're talking Israel, we're talking Japan, Chile, anywhere you can think of, you can go and you can sign up, you can subscribe now. Over 60 countries have already subscribed to AEW Plus, and that is how you're going to be able to watch AEW Dynamite tonight. You want to talk about pounds? Well, that's going to be 406. And you want to talk about euros? That's 455. But it is important that you go and you sign up now if you want to be able to watch AEW Dynamite if you're not able to watch it on TNT or TSN or ITV or anywhere else that it's going to be. But right now, I am joined by a very special guest. Please welcome the female referee here at AEW.
Female.
Aubrey Edwards.
Hey.
Aubrey, thank you so much for being here.
Yeah, I mean, I'm loving this. Today is just crazy. It's absolutely crazy.
So how are you feeling? Yeah, I mentioned you being a female referee, and I think that that's an important thing to.
There's not a lot of us. Like, it's a traditionally very masculine role, right? Like, how often do you see a woman in stripes on TV yelling at a dude, right? It just doesn't happen. So we talk about AEW being for everybody, and I think that's like a really big, fun thing to do is like be a part of that and be a part of that representation of showing women in an authoritative position where I get to shake my finger at Chris Jericho, and little girls all over the world know that they don't need to take any crap. From
Chris Jericho specifically, right? I have seen you in the ring. You are not a referee that you want to mess with.
No, I mean, like, I'm doing a job. You got your job. Don't get in my face. I won't get in yours.
No. How did it feel when you were contacted to be a part of AEW, to be the first high-profile female official? I mean, we're going live on TNT tonight. How did that make you feel?
It's just wild, right? I think even more than just like the gender thing, just being a part of something awesome. Like, we're talking about changing the world and giving people an alternative for wrestling. So being a part of like what is literally the most exciting thing in wrestling right now, it's just incredible. And like, even just on like little old me on the ground floor, I'm running around trying to find a photographer before the show, to like these guys who are doing like massive production.
If you're on the ground floor, I don't know what sub level I'm on. So
yeah, I don't know. I'm just running around a lot, man. I'm just trying not to like mess up the makeup. I got like 2 hours before showtime.
You talked about not even a gender thing, but really, 5-10 years from now, I think we're headed in a direction where nobody will be saying, "Oh, the female referee."
Right.
They'll be saying the referee.
Right, exactly.
And I think that's really special for you to be able to be a part of that.
Well, like we talk a lot about like, it's different because people haven't seen it. And I'm excited to get to that point where it's just normal that I'm reffing the men's matches. It's normal that like I want to see more women on a ref team one day. I want to see, people of all different sexual orientations, people of different, backgrounds, religions, persons of color, like whatever, because everyone sees themselves in wrestling. And it doesn't have to just be in the wrestlers, it could be in anything. So I do look forward to the day where it's not like I don't have that little female in front of my name. Right. I'm just official. Like, it's pretty cool now, I'm not gonna lie.
No, and you're actively paving the way for future generations of females who want to be a part of this business, because it's not too long ago that a female fan, I want to be involved in the business, I don't want to be a wrestler.
What do I have then?
What can I be?
Can I be a valet? Like, you don't really think about it.
And now there's an option for it. I think it's incredible. And
you can be the guy that yells at dudes and that pays your bills. It's pretty dope.
That's pretty great, yeah. And AEW is for everyone.
Yes.
That's kind of a catchphrase, but it's more than that.
True.
It's really true. So when you found out that this show was going to be, the AEW Dynamite was going to be live on TNT, but not just TNT, which I mentioned before, FITE.tv, TSN, ITV, and so many more I'm sure I'm not even mentioning at this point. What was that like for you? I mean, you're on national television. You're on worldwide television every single week now. I hope this isn't the first time you thought about that.
No, I think it's definitely like the last week, I think, has really been like the thing that brought it to the forefront, because I'm getting messages from, say, like my in-laws who don't watch wrestling, and they're saying, I saw you on a TV commercial. And I'm like, yeah, that thing that I mentioned, it's kind of a big deal. Like, I don't think about like how many people worldwide are watching. I think about like the people that I know personally who are now paying attention to wrestling. Like, and that's what we're doing, right?
Yeah.
Like we're drawing new eyes to a product that maybe like wasn't drawn to wrestling before. So I think that's the thing that's kind of making it real, is like people who just kind of looked at me and went, oh, how's that wrestling thing doing? That's cute. Like, you just doing shows on the weekends. And now it's like, no, I'm like here this week. I'm in Boston next week. Like, doing all these things. Like, this is my day job now. Like,
it's incredible. How did you get started as an official in professional wrestling?
My story is a little interesting. I'll try and keep it short. So my background's actually in classical ballet.
Okay, so an obvious transition into officiating, right?
More similar than you would think.
Okay.
Because like, have you ever seen like the Nutcracker, where you've got like the two dancers in the front and they're the people you paid to see, and then you've got a bunch of dancers in the back making them look good?
Okay.
That's literally what I'm doing.
Oh.
You came to see the guys on the poster, and I'm in the back helping them tell their story. So it's not too far off, and the difference is that I'm yelling more, and I get to wear pants instead of tights. So little differences there and there. But I mean, I got into it because I had retired from dance, and I really wanted something to use as a performance outlet. And some friends reached out to me and said, have you thought about reffing? And I'm like, well, no. Like, thought never even crossed my mind.
Now, were you a wrestling fan?
I was a wrestling fan.
Okay.
Very big wrestling fan. Like, traveled to wrestling shows out of state. Was involved in my local indie scene. Like, I was pretty hardcore wrestling fan. So it didn't like phase me like, oh, well, what is this wrestling thing? Like, I knew exactly what it was. But even then, like, when you're in the ring standing behind people, it's completely different than watching wrestling from the front. So already I'm like, wow, I suck. I don't know what to do with my hands. Like, I'm terrible. But stuck with it, practiced a little bit, and now I'm here.
That's fantastic. So what are you most looking forward to? I asked Tony Schiavone when he was on before what challenges there are for him, and what of those challenges he's most excited about. And I'm curious, you mentioned being in the background, right, and that's, while Tony is obviously, you're hearing him the entire time, you're seeing you know, but you guys are also you're putting over, to use that term, you're putting over what's in the ring. You're helping to helping that presentation. What is the most challenging aspect of that for you, and what are you most excited about?
I think the most challenging aspect for me personally right now is just the gravity of the product, like how big it is. The fact we've got all of these cameras around ringside, that we have all these angles we need to hit, we have these times we have to hit, we have commercials, like we have replays, we have all of these other things that I don't really ever factor into wrestling matches, that now are suddenly things that I need to worry about and communicate and make sure that the guys are still doing a top-notch job, but that we know kind of what's happening. And it's great because I know there's a lot of people with AEW that have come from all different walks of the industry, so I think that's something that we're all going to learn how to do together. And I'm excited seeing where we've come with the product so far, that like it's only going to get better.
All right. Well, I wish you nothing but the best.
Thank
you so much for taking the time, and good luck tonight.
Thank you.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, this is Aubrey Edwards, and this is FITE.tv, and we will be right back.